Hi friends, and welcome to my channel. My name is Tanner and this is my Esoterica. Today we're going to be doing a timeless love reading for the Aries collective. So hello Aries, if you are here and or cross watchers, I'm happy to have you here. So we're just going to dive into our reading. We're going to get a look at your energy, Aries. We're going to look at the person you're connected to a little bit, and we're going to get you some advice. But first things first, we're going to look at kind of like the overarching energy of this connection right now with some archetype cards. And you'll know if this reading resonates with you, if the energies that are coming out in this deck resonate with you. So I've gone ahead, I've shuffled all the decks that we're going to use multiple times before I started filming this. So let's just go ahead and see what is on the bottom for you guys. All right, Aries, for this love connection, ooh, the crone. Very interesting. I feel like this is saying you're kind of going through an era of spiritual maturity. There we go. The crone in the archetypes deck is the final kind of like manifestation of the divine feminine. So you could resonate with being a divine feminine. But for those who do not know, the three phases of the divine feminine are the mother, the maiden, and the crone. Not in that order. I think it's maiden, mother, crone. Kind of like the life cycle of the divine feminine. I'll put that in quotes. The crone is the last kind of manifestation of this. So it's like, in the book, this card talks about how the crone devours beauty and destruction with like the same mouth. Like the crone has seen everything, she's been through everything, and she sees the beauty in destruction as well as the beauty in life. So I feel like this, in some ways, is saying that this connection has put you through the ringer a little bit, but it's helped you step into your divine feminine wisdom, your divine feminine power. Maybe you resonate with being psychic or a witchy type person with this crow here. But yeah, a lot of, and 13, which is, I believe, death energy. I could be wrong. But basically, I feel like this connection has kind of forced you to grow up in a sense, because it's kind of put you through the ringer, more or less. We have the father here as well. So this is divine masculine energy. And it's interesting to me that this tree is like half in and half gone, which is kind of like the archetype of the father as well. Divine masculine energy as well, but this is somebody who, like, when present, like, is able to help put down roots, like establish foundation is what I want to say. And, you know, when you think of like the father and the mother and the child, like when the father is present and actively putting down roots, the child is able to grow up kind of like sturdy and strong. But the absence of the father is felt really, really strongly. So I feel like, you know, you've had a masculine in your life, and this is energy dynamics. This is not about gender. So if you don't resonate with being male or female, this is not about gender. I love everybody. But this is about energy dynamics. So I feel like there is a divine masculine energy who has kind of been in and out. And when they've been in, it's like they've been able to really make you feel seen and validated, and like something is growing to something. But when they're gone, you feel the void of them really, really harshly. And the world goes from kind of looking in color a little bit to being in black and white and kind of staticky. So right away, I want to say that this is giving sort of twin flame dynamic or kind of intense karmic situation or soul contract or soul tie. So you may feel like you're in a soul contract or a soul tie. Let me cut the deck and see what card comes out here. The riddle. Ooh, okay, yeah. So I feel like there's something that you're trying to untangle in this situation. And it's fun that the crone and the riddle came out together. That happened in one of my New Year pick a card readings. So if you feel called to, you know, mosey on over there and see if any of those readings call to you, please feel free. But anyway, there's something here that you're trying to unravel. But the paradox of the riddle is that there is kind of no forcing yourself to understand the reason why. It just kind of has to be known or be understood or kind of come to you in its own sort of timing. So I feel like this connection for you has been a sort of riddle that you've been trying to unravel. Maybe this person's behavior, or, you know, their lack of consistency, or what have you. There's plenty of triggers, if this is a divine connection, that you will recognize and be familiar with. But I get the sense that this connection, you know, probably has left you feeling confused in a lot of ways with the riddle and trying to unravel the why of it all. But yeah, a lot of maturity taking place, a lot of spiritual power being amassed with the crone. What's underneath here? Oh, the Father. We looked already. What's underneath the Father? Just out of curiosity. Ooh, the Vessel. So the Vessel talks about carrying around something that is too heavy. It could be a relationship. It could be a way of being. I mean, obviously this is a love reading, so this is going to be about a relationship, but it feels like there's something that you've been carrying with you for a while, and at a certain point it's kind of getting too heavy for you to keep kind of pulling on. So I feel like this connection is kind of making you ask yourself, it's making you ask yourself, you know, what is worth carrying with me into the future here? And if this connection is kind of dragging you down more than aiding in your growth, then maybe that's something you should keep in mind here. We have Anima Mundi here, which is the world. And yeah, this is the world energy. So I feel like you've learned a lot of lessons. This is kind of like continuing with this sort of level up vibe that we've been talking about so far. But I feel like this has taught you a lot of lessons, this connection, this relationship, even if it's left you feeling confused and like you don't really know exactly maybe what the purpose of it is, or like why it had to happen. It's giving you a lot of lessons and a lot of opportunities to learn and grow, and, you know, step into this divine feminine wisdom. So yeah, let's see what card comes out for you, Aries. Thank you, Spirit. Can we get an archetype card for our Aries collective for this connection, whatever they need right now, whatever is most apt for their situation, please and thank you, Spirit. For our Aries collective. Oh, goodness. Okay, here we go. Whatever needs to come out for our Aries, please, Spirit. Spirit was like, I said what I said before. It's so funny. So we have the crone, the Father, and the Vessel. That's crazy. Literally everything we were just talking about. So I guess I don't need to talk about it again, right? So yeah, what's happening here in this connection? I feel like there's a masculine who is in and out. This connection is getting too heavy for you to carry by yourself, even if it's led to a lot of spiritual growth on your end, and maturity on your end as well. I feel like you feel the absence of this person really strongly, and it's like, is it worth continuing to try to pull on the vessel of this relationship if it's not going to lead you to a place of fulfillment? So that's an interesting place to start, Aries. We're going to go ahead and look a little further into your energy with some animal spirit cards by the same author as this deck. So let's just see what comes out for our Aries viewer. I've shuffled all these cards, so let's see what comes out. The Peacock and the Bat. So yeah, big transformation taking place for you right now, Aries. With the Bat energy, you have air signs here as well. Both of these are air signs, so you may have been dealing with an air person, or maybe you have air placements in your chart. But yeah, this connection has kind of triggered a massive transformation on your part with the Bat. And with the Peacock here, this is learning to accept yourself and others like unconditionally. So I feel like this connection has probably triggered you in a lot of ways, and like kept you in your head a lot with all this air symbolism. But it's helped you kind of come into yourself, into this sense of you know, maturity and accepting who you are and where you are, and also accepting this person for where they're at. I feel like with maturity comes recognizing that people can only meet you where they are at when it comes to love and relationships. And they can't give you more than what they have available for themselves. So I feel like you've also been learning to accept people for where they're at, even if it isn't in alignment with you ultimately. Let's keep looking. We have the fire ant. So this is fire energy. I feel like you've been stewing on this connection a little bit. That's kind of what fire ant energy talks about. It talks about being agitated as well with like the way things are. So I feel like you've kind of been stewing on this connection, kind of getting angry and agitated about how this person has not been showing up for you in the way that you need. And it's been causing transformations to take place within you. Let's do one more cut, please, Spirit. Well, I mean, I didn't shuffle, but okay. I'm gonna do two. Okay, so on the bottom here we have the hyena. So you could be somebody who's very funny. You could be somebody who masks with humor. Somebody who maybe sees things a little bit black and white. Let's see what's underneath here. Oh, the bat again. So I feel like, you know, you've had to kind of feel like you've had to kind of fake like you're keeping your cool, maybe to this person or maybe to the people around you. Like, you have a mask on, maybe you've been playing stuff off, like, oh, you know, whatever, I get that you can't meet me for our date at this time because blah, 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 whatever. But I feel like, yeah, that mask is kind of hiding pain underneath. But I feel like you're very funny and witty. I'll give you that. Okay, let's do one more zhuzh here, and I'll do a cut. We'll see what other animal energies want to come out for you, Aries, and then we'll move on with the reading. Thank you, Spirit, for our Aries viewer. Their energy right now. This is beautiful energy, Aries. We have Phoenix energy, so rising from the ashes, which the crone also talks about. And also the hummingbird here, so more air energy. But the hummingbird talks about knowing where to go to find nourishment. This is like focusing on your own happiness and knowing where to find that happiness, whether it be, I think the hummingbird talks about spirituality and knowing where to go to get like spiritually rejuvenated. It could just be, you know, being in people's company who helps lift you up. But with the Phoenix here, this is like major transformation taking place for you, Aries. What's this? The hawk, messenger of divinity, more air energy. But yeah, I feel like this is changes taking place. This is messages from spirit. This is being able to keep a higher perspective on things. And yeah, with this Phoenix energy, you're going through a massive rebirth. Like, this connection, for better or for worse, is triggering your ascension into this crone energy. And that's beautiful, for better or for worse. So let's go ahead and just get one card for you, one animal card for you. Whatever needs to come out for our Aries collective, please, Spirit. For our Aries collective. Animal card for our Aries collective, please, Spirit. Woo! The tiger. This is divine feminine energy. Aries, I feel like you guys are in your divine feminine power right now. This is being comfortable in the shadows, eating beauty and, what did I say? Destruction with the same mouth. Somebody, yeah. So you're absolutely in your divine feminine energy right now, Aries. This is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful energy for you to be in, even if you're having these sort of painful realizations. It's triggering your ultimate growth and your ascension with that Phoenix card we just saw, into your divine feminine energy. Fire as well. So this is you. Absolutely. If the Empress doesn't come out in the tarot at this point, I will be shook. Or the High Priestess. But let's see. The Beaver. So you're definitely working on your foundations and working on building something for yourself that is lasting, whether that be in relationships, or maybe you're focused on something in the 3D. Maybe you're trying to build something for yourself in the physical world. A business, an idea, what have you. The Beaver is a hard worker. Equal parts, I believe, water and earth energy. So somebody who's very in touch with their emotions, but somebody who's very foundational. Like this gives, the Beaver makes me think of the Four of Wands. So yeah, very family oriented as well. You could be very family oriented. But yeah, all in all, Aries, it seems like this connection has just been triggering your growth into your divine feminine power. And absolutely, again, absolutely gorgeous energy. Next, I'm going to pull out some of these oracle cards. They are, what are they called? I have the box right here. Harmony Heart Oracle. And these guys have like love and relationship messages and career stuff. It kind of is a little smorgasbord, but I like to go through the deck once for your guys' zodiac readings just to see what comes out. So again, I've shuffled all of these, but I'll do it again. So whatever needs to come out for our Aries collective, please, Spirit. Woo! So we'll just go once through the deck and we'll see what comes out. Let me zhuzh it one more time so y'all don't think I'm cheating, y'all. Okay. For our Aries collective, please, Spirit, whatever needs to come out for them, their energy right now. Ooh, okay. Okay, so we have emotional repair on the bottom here. So it says, you are working to repair a relationship that was once fractured. Past hurts are healing, and reconciliation brings hope. And that's interesting because, okay, now that I've looked, I have to say it. You're making important decisions in your career and or relationships, and these choices will lead to long-term success. Your decisiveness is your strength. What I wanted to say is that when I was shuffling all these decks before, starting your reading, Aries, romance came out, which it came out again, as well as reconciliation. And they came out together. So I feel like if you have been in a cycle of push and pull with this person, that they are thinking about coming back, or you guys may be dealing with them coming back and trying to reconcile. Obviously, you guys trust your intuition on that and, you know, do whatever you feel is best, but just wanted to throw that out there since romance came out again. Here, okay, hold on, let me put this deck down. Okay, so actually the first card that came out for you was financial stability, and it came, and it came out crossing. In this deck, when cards come out sideways or crossing like this, I've learned to take both messages, because I feel like you really are trying to figure out you're grappling with your financial stability right now, for better or for worse. So the messages here is, your financial situation is secure and career success is bringing you material rewards and a sense of safety for the future. I feel like this is what you're focusing on. And this is what you're focusing on overcoming. Financial challenges may be arising, or you are feeling uncertain about your economic stability. Caution in planning is needed. So if you're worried about your finances, I feel you. This next card that came out was friendship. You find great support and love in your friendships. The people around you provide warmth and belonging. I feel like I might have said something about Three of Cups earlier, but that's the vibe of this. Like, being around friends who uplift you, kind of help pull you out of these dark cycles. You know, the roller coaster that, you know, if this is a twin flame connection, if this is a soul contract, they can be really intense. and for your ultimate growth spiritually, of course. But it comes at a cost. So like, make sure you're being around people who help elevate your vibration, is what I want to say for this card. We have romance here. So romantic energy is flowing, bringing sweetness and tenderness to your relationship. New sparks are flying. So if you guys have not reconciled, or this person has not come in yet, I do want to just put it out there that, this person may be coming back soon. And then we have challenges here. You are facing challenges that are helping you grow stronger. Overcoming these obstacles will lead to significant personal rewards. So I feel like any challenges that you've been overcoming in this relationship are obviously here to help, you know, push you into divine feminine energy, with both of these cards. Maybe step into your own divine masculine energy too by tackling these financial issues and tackling these challenges face on. Though I do still strongly feel that this is about that masculine that you're dealing with that comes in and out. It's not very present. And then, yeah, if you want to keep, you know, what's worth holding on to and what's worth letting go. Okay. So now we're going to use one other tarot deck for just kind of like your feelings about this relationship right now, like your love feelings. So again, I have shuffled all of these, but I'll zhuzh them around again, just so nobody thinks I'm lying. But thank you, Spirit. Can we get some more cards for our Aries collective? How are they feeling right now when it comes to this connection? And it's kind of like the blue deck. We'll just kind of go through once and see what needs to come out. Thank you, Spirit, for our Aries viewer. For our Aries viewer, whatever needs to come out for our Aries viewer for this connection. Nothing? Okay. Hopeless. Ooh. That's so interesting. So fantasy, daydreaming, imagining, fantasizing. So I feel like you are kind of daydreaming about this person, this connection. And yeah, second chance reconciliation. What did I just say? What was I just talking about? Somebody wants to come in and offer a second chance, or you would give this person a second chance if they came back in, or you're fantasizing about a second chance. There's something about a second chance here. After maybe a final goodbye. Maybe somebody said goodbye and you guys thought it was over. I feel like F's could be symbolic too. Somebody's name could start with F, with the F's that are here. Running. So you probably feel like you're dealing with a runner, I want to say. Somebody who disappears or ghosts you, or who's come in and out. It's like the roller coaster that we've been talking about. I feel like, you know, you do fantasize about this person, of course, but like, it's kind of what we were talking about before. You go back and forth between being hopeless about this connection and being hopeful. I feel like that's probably why it's so hard for you to even, you know, think about putting down the vessel of this relationship. And some of you guys could be feeling like this is a karmic connection. Or like, you know, this person is kind of getting what they deserve. They haven't, if you cut them off maybe, or if they, you know, just haven't been able to step up and you're tired of, you know, being stuck in a fantasy and being stuck on this roller coaster of going back and forth between having hope and feeling hopeless. Yeah, I feel like a lot of you are also kind of like I'm getting this is what I get energy for, like maybe dealing with this situation at all, kind of like beating yourself up a little bit because of the ups and downs of this journey. And I want to say, don't beat yourself up for having an open heart. Don't beat yourself up for having hope that somebody could change, for having hope that a connection that feels as strongly could work out. Like, don't beat yourself up for having hope. I think, a lot of this is a learning experience, whether this is a karmic connection or a true divine counterpart. I think, how can I say this? Well, first of all, don't blame yourself. Please don't blame yourself. I think, maybe you're also thinking that this person will kind of get what's coming to them for if somebody has done you dirty, which we'll get into more when we look at tarot in a few minutes. But like, I just don't want you to get stuck in a cycle of feeling like this is what you deserve, because you deserve more than this. You deserve more than a runner, and you deserve more than a fantasy. You deserve somebody who's going to really show up and not kind of walk away when the going gets tough or when they feel like they can't handle it. Let me see, what else do we have? Influences. So there could be a third party influence at play, or work could be a factor, or other people's opinions about the relationship, family, but yeah, you are missing them. You are thinking about them. And fantasizing about a second chance, I feel. And if the cards shuffling were any indication, there is a chance for that to happen. But yeah, all of these cards are saying basically you're feeling stuck. You go back and forth between feeling hopeful for this relationship and feeling hopeless about it. And you're dealing with a runner, somebody who's emotionally unavailable. Like what we were talking about with the father there. So that kind of tracks. But don't blame yourself. You don't deserve this. Hopefully they get what they deserve. Whatever spiritual lessons need to go their way. But yeah, don't beat yourself up. Please don't beat yourself up. Okay, friends, we're going to go ahead and get into tarot. And I've already shuffled all the cards again. This is the traditional Rider-Waite tarot. So you can't beat a classic. But first things first, we're going to look into your energy again. So we're going to look at your energy a little bit more in depth. Can we get a card, please, for our viewer's energy spirit, for our Aries viewer? Their energy right now when it comes to this connection. Our Aries viewer, please, spirit. What is their energy right now when it comes to this connection? Our Aries viewer's energy when it comes to this connection. 8 of Wands. So you are wanting forward movement and progress, and this is either what you want from this relationship or what this relationship is causing you to do for yourself, which is expand and grow and move forward at a rapid pace. We have the 4 of Pentacles here as well, so I feel like there's a sense of you clinging to this connection, not wanting to let it go. There's a sense of security here that you feel comfortable in and not wanting to let it go, even though, because I see this poking out behind the 5 of Pentacles, you're feeling left out in the cold and abandoned by this person. So you're wanting forward movement and progress. On the bottom here, we have the Page of Swords too. So it's like you're trying to figure out how. It's like you're making a plan. You're connecting the dots. You're trying to have a higher perspective on this situation. Even if you can't solve that riddle that came up in the beginning, like, it's not for lack of trying here. Let's get another card, please, for our Aries viewer spirit. Another card for our Aries viewer, please. Their energy right now. Another card for our Aries viewer. Their energy. Ooh, yeah, Queen of Swords. So you've got your boundaries up. You're in your divine feminine energy. You've got a clear head about stuff. You got a higher perspective with that little birdie there. You're cutting through confusion, and you're moving forward, or you're doing your best to move forward and maintain your strong boundaries and move forward quickly. Like I get the sense that you are cutting this person off, or are almost at a place of cutting this person off, just because you're tired of the roller coaster. You're tired of their absence here, even if it has helped you ascend. Again, it's like, are you carrying something that is too heavy for you? Not that you couldn't carry it if you had to, but like, why should you have to if it's not serving you? Let's look at your person's energy. Thank you, Spirit. Can we please look at the person our Aries viewer is connected to? Can we look at their energy right now when it comes to this connection? Our Aries viewer's person, their energy when it comes to this connection. Our Aries viewer's person. Woo! Oh, wow. So they're feeling kind of left out and abandoned and in the cold. So maybe you did cut them off recently, again, because you were tired of the cycles, tired of the running. And if you did, if you stood in your power and your Queen of Swords power and you cut them off, good for you, Aries, good for you. But if that's what you did, you cut them off and you're focusing on moving forward in your own way, they're feeling it. They definitely feel left out and abandoned by you. Not saying it wasn't warranted or well-deserved on your part if they weren't really showing up how they needed to, but... Ooh, and we have the Queen of Pentacles underneath here too. So I feel like they see you as somebody who is really kind and nurturing, somebody who is sure of her or themselves. Again, I'm not judging or gendering either. Somebody who would make a great mother. Just somebody who's really secure and stable. And they're feeling cut off from you. Like, they can tell that you are focusing on your own pentacle right now. And they're kind of left out wandering in the cold here. Let's get one more for your person's energy. Thank you, Spirit. Can we get one more card for our Aries viewers' person's energy? I was shuffling and this came out again, or it was facing me, even though all the other cards are faced that way. So I feel like, you know, there's a sense of mirroring here. They're holding on to this connection too. They don't want to let you go either. All right, Spirit. Another card for our Aries viewers' person. Their energy right now when it comes to this connection. For our Aries viewers' person. Their energy right now when it comes to this connection. The Nine of Cups crossing. So you'll remember, well, I was talking about it with the Oracle deck, but when cards, sorry, I'm trying to refocus things. When cards come out crossing, for me as a reader, this is energy that somebody is actively, like, consciously grappling with at any given time. So I feel like your person is grappling with what counts as their wish fulfillment, and I'm almost positive it is you. They're feeling left out, they're feeling blocked off from you, and it's made them kind of need to reckon with, what is it that they want? What is it that fulfills them emotionally? This is also sort of independent energy, so I feel like maybe you did cut them off. But again, I did see that energy when I was shuffling of reconciliation. So we'll see in a little bit what's coming next in this connection, but this is your energy, this is your person's energy. They're feeling left out in the cold, they're grappling with what it is they really want, what it really means to be emotionally fulfilled, I believe, by a partner. You are standing strong in your boundaries, you know your worth, and you're focusing on moving forward in whatever way, shape, or form that takes. But yeah, in some ways you're both kind of still clinging on to this connection. So that could be your connecting energy, but we're going to ask and see what comes out. And I almost want it to pop out again, just so we can confirm the magic of tarot for all, you know, 2 Aries that will probably watch this video. But let's look at the connecting energy between our Aries viewer and their person, please, Spirit. The connecting energy between Aries and their person. Oh, wow. Harmony. Happiness. Happily ever after. So I feel like you guys do kind of see each other as your happily ever afters. Like, there is a sense of, like, this connection feels fulfilling in a way that others probably haven't for you at this point, for either of you. Again, this is connecting energy. But I feel like you guys both want this harmony. You guys both want this sort of happily ever after. And underneath we have the Ace of Wands. So somebody here is inspired to take some sort of action. What's underneath here? Ooh, the Devil. I see that the connecting energy between you is hot, 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 hot. Ace of Wands. Wands in general, they're about attraction. Eyebrow wiggle. I'm not, you can't see that, but that's what I was doing. So this is about, you know, a thick wand. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But with this is like, whoo, this is like, I can't let you go. Like, you turn me on so much that I can, like, I'm addicted to you, with the Devil underneath. So sheesh. Strong attraction between the 2 of you. You guys both want happiness and harmony together. You want a happily ever after sort of relationship vibe. Let's get another card for the connecting energy between you, please, Spirit. Connecting energy between Aries and their person, please, Spirit. Oh. The Lovers. Oh my God, and is the Ace of Wands underneath there too? Yep. I cannot show you guys this card in the way I would like to because they're naked. But strong connection, twin flame connection. A love that's not easy. A love that requires choice. Like the choice to be a part of the situation. So it's definitely giving twin flame connection between you guys. You know, the Ace of Wands is still underneath here. I'm going to just sort of cover the Lovers with the Ace of Wands. But, yeah. So between you guys, strong pull, strong love connection, strong attraction between you guys as well. And both of you wanting this sort of happily ever after. I feel like, you know, you want to make amends. You both want things to be okay because you both feel this sort of crazy, powerful attraction towards each other. You probably reached a point where you needed to cut your person off, and they're feeling that at this moment. But it's like the feelings between you still haven't dissipated. Like the pull is still there, the draw is still there. Okay. So the next thing I wanted to look at is what is your person's next actions? So what is your person's, our Aries person's next actions when it comes to our viewer? What are the next actions our person will take? Let me double check, because I wrote down the questions in a notebook that I wanted to ask. Yeah. What's coming next? Or what is our person's next actions? Our Aries viewer's person. There we go. What is our Aries viewer's person's next actions when it comes to this connection? Our Aries viewer's person. Ooh, looks like they are... Look, a new beginning with the Fool. taking a risk, taking a leap of faith. I feel like, you know, their next actions, they might not be taking any. I think we'll see. I'll get another card, but I do see this Fool here, so wanting a new beginning, wanting to take a leap of faith. But this card actually came out, and it seems like their next actions, really, they're just going to kind of be thinking about you and like reminiscing about good times. I think you might have scared them off, and as you should, because if this is a divine counterpart connection, twin flame connection, the masculine doesn't heal until the feminine enforces their boundaries, and kind of cuts them off. But this loneliness triggers their ascension as well, to make them show up as this side of the divine masculine, not that side. So it seems like your person really is just kind of stuck in their daydreams about you, reminiscing about you, even if they want a new beginning with you. They're more focused on the memories. I feel like maybe you might have scared them, but again, that's not a bad thing, so don't feel bad about it. They needed that kind of kick in the pants to jumpstart their own growth, because it looks like you've been doing the work to grow. And if they haven't, it's about time they catch up. And that's all I'll say about that. Oh goodness, the deck closed on me. Hold on. Okay. Oops. Sorry, friends. Alright. So their next action, they're kind of just sitting on their hands, I feel. Just kind of thinking about you, but not really taking any action, even if they want to. I'll get one more card. Oh goodness, I'm messing up this whole thing. The Fool again, the Page of Wands. The Emperor was just here with the Page of Wands. So I feel like somebody wanting to step into their power, somebody who's still kind of drawn and attracted to something that, again, inspires them, wanting to take a leap of faith because they're stuck in their daydreams, and it's making them, in the memories of the good times, and it's making them want to take action. It's inspiring them to take action. One more card for their next actions, please, Spirit. One more card for their next actions. Our Aries person's next actions. One more card for their next actions. Ooh. Ten of Pentacles crossing. So I feel like they're trying to figure out how to build something lasting with you, how to build a foundation with you, how to maybe have a family one day, if that's something that kind of, you know, strikes your fancy. I feel like this person is kind of grappling with the long-term implications of what's going on in their energy, and they're grappling with what they want for the long term. And I feel like it's you. There's, again, a lot of attraction between you and a want of harmony here. I feel like they're trying to figure out how can they get to a place where they can offer you that stability that you're wanting and craving. And how can they make this a relationship that lasts the test of time? But again, this is energy that they're grappling with. It's not energy that they're actively, you know, pursuing. I see them mostly in their mind here, or in their feelings, with that Six of Cups. All right, so what's coming next in the connection then, Spirit? What is coming next in this connection for our Aries? What is coming next in this connection? Please and thank you, Spirit. What is coming next in this connection for our Aries viewer? There you go. An ending. a releasing of things that no longer serve you, making way for better things to come through, a better version of this connection, perhaps, or releasing this connection so something better can take its place. We have the Four of Pentacles again on the bottom. So maybe it's, you know, releasing the urge to hold on to this in order to make room for something better to come in. And Death is 13, like the crone. Haha, I just like being right, sorry. But yeah, what's coming next in this connection? Total release of what is no longer working for you and making way for something new. One more card for what's coming next, please, Spirit, in this connection for our Aries. What is coming next in this connection? For our Aries, what is coming next in this connection for our Aries? What is coming next in this connection for our Aries? Oh, what? Came out crossing though. Kind of mirroring your person's energy. What's coming next is you guys trying to figure out how can you guys come back together? How can you build a union that's lasting? This is a card of marriage. Maybe you guys will be having discussions about commitment or marriage in some sort of way. Three of Swords. Emotional pain around this coming together, around having a stable relationship. A lot of pain that needs to be released and discussed and talked about. Clarity needs to be achieved in order to heal this emotional pain and feel, you know, seen and celebrated. And feeling like you've succeeded and that this is something worth investing in for the long term, with the Seven of Pentacles there. Okay. So I feel like, you know, with that energy I was talking about of reconciliation when I was shuffling, I feel like, you know, there's probably going to be an opportunity for you guys to have a conversation soon about, you know, I feel like your person's grappling with how they can offer you stability, and you guys are going to have to talk about what a stable relationship looks like for the both of you. But I feel like your person wants to offer you what you need. I feel like you just need to be honest, be truthful, be clear in your boundaries about what you will and you won't accept. And then maybe you guys can let the old version of this situation fall away and you guys can figure out how to build a stable and solid relationship. Let's get a card of advice for you, and then I'll pull a piece of advice from one more deck for you guys, and then we'll leave the reading there. If you guys have made it this far, this reading has resonated with you, please consider liking and commenting and subscribing. It really helps, you know, my channel to grow, and I'd love to connect with you all and, you know, build up this community like I'm envisioning. And also, if this reading resonated with you, Aries, and you have other placements, check out your moon and your rising and your Venus. You may have messages in those readings as well. But yeah, thank you, Spirit. Can we get a final piece of advice for our Aries viewer? Piece of advice for our Aries viewer. Thank you, Spirit. Piece of advice for our Aries viewer. Ooh. The World. I cannot show you before she is naked, but the World, finishing out cycles. We have the fixed signs on here, so your person could be an Aquarius, a Scorpio, she's naked, a Leo, or a Taurus. But yeah, your advice is finish this chapter strong. Let what needs to fall away with that death energy, so you can, you know, graduate to the next level, which you're already doing by embracing your divine feminine energy. There is so much divine feminine energy in your reading, Aries. I'm hard pressed to believe that you are anything other than that. But yeah, a lot of ending cycles here. So let the cycles end is what I'm getting for your advice. And be ready to step into this newer, more mature, more powerful version of yourself. Put a little crystal on her so she's not naked. One more piece of advice for you from Tarot, please, Spirit. For our Aries. Ooh! Sorry, a lot of cards fell out. I'm not taking all those, Spirit. But anyway, let that chapter end. Step into a new version of yourself who's learned the lessons, who's ready to, you know, learn some new ones with all the stuff that they've learned already, like taking that with them into the future. One more piece of advice, please, Spirit, for our Aries. One more piece of advice for our Aries viewer. Page of Pentacles. Invest in what excites you. I think, you know, with the Page of Pentacles here, I feel like maybe you have a creative project that you've been inspired to take action on. Excuse me. But if you do resonate with twin flames, divine feminine, what have you, then part of all of this hullabaloo, this ascension, is so you can work on your mission or something that inspires you to help bring more light to the earth. So I feel like Spirit is saying with this card that, like, again, let this cycle end, step into the new powerful version of yourself, and focus on something that's going to give you material return, like something that is going to excite you to invest in. Because whatever it is has the potential to really kind of bloom and flourish for you. But I do see that you're kind of like maybe in the planning stages of something, trying to maybe figure out logistics of stuff. But invest in this. Whatever this is, invest in it. Even if it's just, you know, yourself still. But I feel like this is about a project that you're interested in investing in. So Spirit's saying, do it. Invest in it. Okay, Aries. I'm going to go ahead and pull a piece of advice for you from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck here. On the bottom we have Yang. So this is, I was just talking about this, but this is masculine energy. This is, you know, taking inspired action on what inspires you. So if you have something that's inspiring for you, or something that's kind of driving your passion or making you want to focus your attention outward on, you know, expanding your own horizons, do it. Okay. One more piece of advice and we're going to close your reading. Thank you again for being here, Aries, and thank you, Spirit. Can we get one final piece of advice for our Aries viewer? One final piece of advice for our Aries viewer. Perfect. Soulmates, shut up. It was 53:33 on the timer when I said that. But anyway, this card talks about, I mean, you guessed it, soulmates, but it doesn't have to be about a love connection necessarily. I feel like it is in this scenario, but this talks about soulmates in the sense that people who come into your life are meant to teach you lessons. Some people are meant to stay for a long time. Some people are only meant to stay for a short time. But no matter what the case is, you know, whoever comes into your life teaches you something, and you also teach them. So your advice is that this situation, for better or for worse, was meant to trigger your own healing and growth and ascension, which I feel like it's been doing. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, don't try to keep untying the knot that we saw in the beginning of the reading. Trust that whatever was meant to unfold between you has unfolded and will continue to unfold. That this person that you're dealing with was meant to come into your life to teach you something. You taught them something. And then, you know, whatever happens from here on out, just know that this connection was fated, and, you know, the lessons that you learn from this, you'll carry with you forever, and so will they. So yeah, besties, trust that this all happened for a reason. Trust in the universe, which I feel like you're getting good at doing with all this divine feminine energy here. And, you know, focus on your growth. Focus on your mission, what brings you joy, what helps you elevate others' energy. And yeah, know that this was fated and it was meant to teach you something. All right, my friends, I'm going to go ahead and leave your reading here. Thank you again, my beautiful Aries, for being here. I love you and I appreciate you so much. And we will see you in the next one. All right, take care. Bye.